Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Mansi Scott.
Radio 1.
And also with Boman R Irani, head of Rustomjee Construction Group and secretary of Maharashtra Chamber of Housing Industry. Good morning again. Welcome to Good Morning Mumbai.
Thank you, Mansi.
This is what I have to ask you. The burning question on everybody's mind since yesterday.
Yeah.
Jolly Maker flat goes for 1.11 lakh rupees a square foot.
Well, this is what happens when you want the house right next to you. You know, people just buy it at amazing prices, but that does not mean that that's the price in that area at all.
Oh, so are the prices really falling, or will they remain high? What is the current real estate situation?
Prices falling is a far cry, because as of right now, what's really happening is the supply is really down to a trickle, and then the demand continues to be where it is. We are like 32 million homes across the country, you know, in terms of supply-demand mismatch. And if all developers kept working 24/7 for 365 days of the year and kept working for the next 20 years, is when we'd be able to come close to meeting this kind of demand. And what the government is really not being able to get its hands around is being able to create policy that would allow this kind of development to take place in the city, in the state, and in the country.
That's what was my next question to you. Is there some proposal to alter the development control rules of the city? And what are these changes, and how will they impact us?
You're aware the municipal corporation did amend the DC rules in terms of bringing in fungible FSI to take away the ability of, let's say, the unscrupulous developers who were in a way exploiting the available development control rules and trying to rein in. I'm sure it'll be fairly successful if also the timelines in which these approvals are obtained are cut down. In an interaction with the authorities, we had brought to their attention as MCHI that you've got 18 months to 24 months which regularly go into approvals, and these are just one set of approvals. Then you've got like 24 others to go for. 20% or 15% being the rate of interest, which developers would normally pay. You wind up having people charge that kind of money to the end consumer, and that really is what is killing everybody.
Unscrupulous developers and builders, a huge conversation point. Right after a song, I'm going to play you Robbie Williams. I know, Baman, this is not your favorite song, but
come on,
it's
I love it.
Rock DJ.
This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Mansi Scott.
Radio 1.
And I'm in conversation with Boman R Irani, head of the Rustomjee Construction Group and secretary of MCHI. Big burning question that we were at, and I stopped you right there. Unscrupulous builders.
Well, Mansi, it takes all types. When you have a city that is this big and you have more than 5,000 people in various trades trades connected to real estate itself, everybody calls himself a builder. So if you have someone building one juggi jhopadi, or you have someone building an entire township, both are called a builder. And this is where we need some kind of definition, clarity on what exactly, or rather who exactly defines an unscrupulous builder. So if you have a person who is going to build one single building, he's going to try and break every law and try to take maximum advantage. But if you look at all MCHI members, we're all into building a brand. We're all about creating wealth, not money. We're all about, giving the future generation a great city to live in. And this is one of the things that I was trying to get across to you, even when the new DC rules have, fungible FSI DC rules have come in. The key benefactor is, of course, the citizen who lives in this city, because wisely so, the government and the present municipal commissioner have put aside the money towards an infrastructure fund. When you have about 2,000 crores coming in every year into the coffers of BMC for infrastructure in the city, I'm looking forward to a city that has a sea link all the way from Borivali all the way down to maybe Navi Mumbai, and more coastal roads, more better water supply, better power. We already are blessed with a good power supply, but all these things will improve in the city. More rail transport.
Amen to that. So does the MCHI have a consumer grievance mechanism?
We do. MCHI is a group of, the Confederation of Builders, and we've come together to systemize the way we deal with our consumers. At the same point of time, we want to give the consumer comfort. At our exhibitions, we have the logo that says MCHI hai to bharosa hai, which means that when you walk into an MCHI exhibition to buy an apartment, you can be certain that the apartment sold out there would definitely have all the requisite approvals. Our industry is fraught with problems. We have ton loads of them, but our developers who are associated with us will make sure that they live by the code of conduct which we've all signed, which means that we'll keep transparency as one of the keys with our consumers.
Fantastic. I know, everybody out there must be itching to call and talk to you live. So I'm going to do something on this morning show. I'm going to open up the phone lines. For any of you who want to talk to Boman, you can call on 66943943 and he will try and answer whatever questions you have. Because I think property, real estate, building, developing, in fact, I didn't know the difference between builders and developers myself. Thank you for enlightening me on that. Is something that, all of us have a lot of questions that need answering. So we will open up the phone line. 66943943 is the number to call to talk live to Boman. And I have a surprise for you next.
Tell me.
I'm playing one of your favorite artists.
Wow.
Can you guess?
You too?
Yay! So we did our homework. Where the Streets Have No Name from the album Joshua Tree, one of their Grammy award-winning albums. This is U2, Joshua Tree.
This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Mansi Scott.
Radio 1.
And with Boman R Irani, head of Rustomjee Construction Group and Secretary of MCHI. And I did throw open the lines to our callers to ask you all the questions they have about property and building and houses. And I've got a very interesting one from Isha. Good morning, Isha.
Good morning, good morning.
Isha, you had a question for Boman.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Irani.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure getting to speak to you. Question was, where do you think the future of real estate lies? Will it be affordable housing, which is being hit by all these increase in costs, like ready reckoner rates, or will it be luxury housing, which is not really going to be hit by these petty increase in costs?
I think, Isha, your question should be actually how do we get more and more affordable housing into the city of Mumbai. Let me just bring to you, Isha, MCHI has been working a lot with the government to kind of work on something called Homes for All. We truly believe everyone should have a roof over their head, and it should be an affordable, it's something that should be affordable for everybody. And we strongly believe that the only way to do this is to incentivize development in the city. That is to say, to give more SOPs to developers who wanted to build smaller homes in the center of the city and give them a higher FSI, because that's what's done worldwide, and it's worked pretty well. Any kind of affordable housing initiative has to be linked to what the government wants to do. And we've been trying to get across to the government that we'd be able to build 5 lakh homes in the city, in and around Mumbai city, as MCHI members. And the only thing we need is a clear-cut policy which would allow us to go through from land buying stage to actual approvals and construction in the shortest possible time. I think, Isha, people like you who seem to have such a good idea about things should make this some kind of a public movement, whether it's on Twitter or get across to the government agencies and inform them that what they really need to do is take this up very seriously. Something like housing, which is such a serious matter, is not really being looked at as one of the key areas by the government at this moment in time, and I think it'll only happen with more and more people joining on this movement. I'd be happy to answer your questions later at secretary@mchi.net as well, if you had any, and we'd be able to take this further.
All right, I will connect with you then, Mr.
Thank you, Isha. And remember, you need to take your Thursday morning forward and seriously think about that Facebook, Twitter, and movement by the people.
Definitely. Great idea.
And Boman, I'm going to go back to a question. Can you also give me a checklist of the most important things to look out for when buying an apartment?
It's very simple. Actually, first is you got to see where you want to be. What's the kind of infrastructure in the area in terms of schools, colleges, transportation facilities. Once that suits you, look at the size of the apartment that you're getting, and then look at the budget that you have. But most importantly, I think it is you're betting on the brand. You decide what a brand brings to the table. So there are brands that offer you luxury, brands that offer you value for money, brands that offer you convenience. It's all about suiting yourself with the right brand and going ahead. And the one thing that you should look for, and I'd say this again, is the MCHI's affiliation to that particular developer, because when he's affiliated to MCHI means he's signed a code of conduct which he has to abide by, and if not, we've got a customer grievance cell which you can bring back to us. Of course, there are lots of issues faced by developers also in terms of delays, etc., which we try to inform the consumer at all points of time.
This is the most important thing I've learned this morning, to have the MCHI associated with the developer or the builder that I've chosen to invest in or buy. I'm going to go back to the music. Have you seen a movie called Footloose?
Oh, yes.
Have you seen the new version of it?
I have, yes, on Flight, yeah.
So apparently this song has not been done that well.
No.
Bonnie Tyler and a song called Holding Out for a Hero.
Very nice one.